right, welcome everybody. Welcome to another world news from the Paranormal Highway. Today's a little different. We're going to concentrate on mysterious, bizarre cattle mutilations around the world. We're going to concentrate on mysterious deaths of animals. You know, cows, just weird things that has happened to these cows. Weird things. So I got a bunch of videos on different people's point of view, their stories about the mysterious deaths. And I thought it'd be a great opportunity just to spin the show on this one subject. So it's a little different. Okay. Now, I will say at the end, I will end the show because I'm adding another segment to the show. I'm actually going to be adding horror talk. So basically, at the end of the show, you know, I'll talk about some kind of a horror movie, a recommendation, or whatever. But today's at the end of the show, we're going to end the show with a video of 10 Bigfoot movies that is recommended for you to see. Now, I didn't choose the 10 Bigfoot videos, but I got a video that has 10 Bigfoot videos that you might want to see. So at the end of the show, that's going to be the ending, the 2-minute video of Bigfoot. But beyond that, guys, we're going to be talking about these weird, mysterious deaths. I mean, they happen all around the world. I mean, is it by humans? Probably. Some of them, probably. Are they from UFOs? That's a good, there's nothing wrong with that idea. Or what about the Bigfoot? Now, some of you might not believe in the Bigfoot. I personally do. But for this thought, just say you do believe in the Bigfoot. Do we really know how do they eat? I mean, are we to say they're just animals and rip other animals apart? I mean, these things are intelligent. So I'm not saying that they're responsible for all these mutilations, all these deaths. No. But you can't bring out the possibilities that they could be involved. Or is it all UFOs? Or is it our government doing it? So we got different videos, different thoughts. And I hope you guys will enjoy just being a little different today. Just being a little different. So the first one I am going to show you is called Quick Bit Mysterious and Bizarre Cattle Mutilation in Eastern Oregon. So this story comes from a farmer's that's out of Eastern Oregon. So let's watch it to see what they say what happens to their cows. Here we go.
People who have experienced this crime never forget it because it's so weird and so awful.
Hi, I'm Scott Eadingham. Thanks for joining us here in the unique Northwest. Aliens, sharks with laser beams, the North Vietnamese Army. Those are some of the outlandish theories people have called in to a sheriff's office in Oregon about mysterious cattle deaths in the area. Anna King went to go check it out, and she's here to tell us more. Anna, what's happening?
Scott, down in southeast Oregon, 5 young bulls have been mysteriously killed, and it's not known who or what did this. The cattle have missing genitals, tongue, and blood, but the rest of the animals are totally untouched. The investigators say the animals weren't shot or victims of poisonous plants or a predator. In fact, coyotes, birds, and rodents haven't even touched the carcasses. These crimes were in really remote country, and no one has found tracks or any signs of how they did this. No helicopter pad, depressions, no truck tires. And this is also happened in a lot of other places across the West. People are contacting me with similar stories, and the people who have experienced this crime never forget it because it's so weird and so awful.
Well, that's certainly an interesting story. We will be monitoring it as it goes forward. As I also understand, the Forest Service and the Bureau of Land Management have not confirmed the existence of any investigations on their part. Thank you, Anna, for bringing that story to us. Certainly interesting, and we will keep track of it as it continues on. More stories like that from Anna at our website, NW.
Okay. You know, in the beginning of this video, they kind of smirk about the idea. I mean, if you listen to the beginning, they kind of smirk about the idea of these crazy theories about UFOs and I forgot. Hold on, what did they say about the foreign? Hold on, let me repeat a
Because
second.
it's so weird and so awful.
Hold on, I'm trying to figure out what they said in the beginning. When they're trying to
Hi,
blame.
I'm Scott Eatingham. Thanks for joining us here in the unique Northwest. Aliens, sharks with laser beams, the North Vietnamese Army. Those are
North Vietnam armies. So they kind of making a joke out of it, but they can't explain what happened, right? They can't say it wasn't humans. You know, the tongues are missing, parts are missing. And I'm not saying it's not a human thing, but when they kind of make a joke out of it, Vietnamese army, come on, you know, really? You think anybody's going to believe the Vietnamese army is in Eastern Oregon and doing this? But they had to bring that up right after the word UFO. So it just kind of tells you that the media still makes a joke out of it, but still they don't have an answer. What happened? I mean, what has happened? I mean, you would think, right, with these best investigators, police investigators, and all that, they would have found something by now, right? A DNA evidence left. You know, good research will find you the killer. But it seems like with all these stories, they can never find the killer, right? Never find the killer. Kind of weird, right? Kind of weird. I'm just saying. I'm just looking at the chat real quick. I see that Eric, my favorite guy, my favorite place to be. I appreciate that, Ralph. Thank you so much. Danny Stanton, thank you for being here. Marie Haskett, thank you for being here. Dina P, thank you. Scott Warren, thank you. Spooky Morales, Scott Warren, Unidentified S4, Anthony, thank you for being here. Brown Dwarf, Chris Hurley, making sure I'm not forgetting people. I know Judy Wheeler was here. So thank you guys for being here. So that was the first video. I mean, like I said, there's these stories all over the world. I mean, there's articles. Here, let me share an article before I go to the next video. Let me show you the next one. This one is in Australia. Okay. You know, a UFO phenomenon, Australian cattle mineralization mystery, following the 7 News Spotlight Special UFO. So Australia have lots of reported mysteries. I mean, here's some pictures. Look at that. Down. Where there's something here I saw earlier. I wish I didn't take it off. Where was it? I mean, let's see here. And if that was killed by an animal, why aren't there animal bites, like taking parts? I mean, and I know reading this story, I'm not going to read the story, but there's no poison plants in this animal going public. When Mick and Judy went public on a local radio, in a local newspaper in 2018, other local farmers privately admitted they have had experienced similar strange losses. Similar. It always takes a group or a couple to come out first. Then other people follow. Why? Because the majority of people know they're going to be made fun of. And when you see other people come out, they're like, okay, you know what? We're not going to be the only ones being made fun of. We're going to stand up with the group. And, you know, sometimes it takes one person to stand up, and then other people will follow. So, you know, if something has happened strange to you, you could be that person to stand up. Be that person to tell that story. And you'll be surprised how many people will follow you if you just stand up. Let me see here. I'm trying to find, there was hundreds of kilometers to the south during East Coast senior veterinarian with decades. Okay. There's the other side of the picture. Look at that. There's a hole right there. But there's no animal marks. What if it's an animal? Then why did the animal tear it apart? I'm trying to see. There's another animal by a fence in Australia. No animal, no marks, no teeth in it. I'm going to put this article. If you guys want to read about this article here in Australia, I'll put this article in the chat for you, and then I'm gonna jump on to another video. So that's an article, another article, and like I said, what's nice is all these pictures. People want to say, "Oh, that's from animals." Where's the animal marks? Where's the animal tearing it up? You know, I mean, where are they? But this next video is Kentucky. Now, this is going to be interesting. I got some news to tell you after you see this video. Kentucky, sheriff convinced large predator killed animals. Large predator. Hold on.
Good morning. We are learning more this morning about the mysterious deaths of 3 miniature horses in southern Kentucky.
This is so bizarre. It's had so many people talking since we first told you about this yesterday. News Channel 5's Nick Bears, live in the 5 Alert Center. Nick, you've been closely watching the developments with this case, and there remains some controversy this morning. A little question.
Yeah, there really does. I mean, right now, you know, we have a difference of opinion here. The Monroe County Sheriff and the state still can't agree on exactly what it was that killed these horses. The state says it was not a wild animal. They're emphatic about that. But the sheriff, Dale Ford, says there's no question in his mind it was a predator, possibly a large cat, like these photos we've obtained showing a large cat in the
I'm going to tell you guys something about that large cat after this video.
Monroe County area in recent weeks. Now, the horses and a single dog were killed over the weekend. This morning, the sheriff, despite what the state says, continues to warn residents in that general area to be on alert for a predator, which he says and thinks is still at large. Obviously, this story is generating an awful lot of buzz. People want to know exactly what happened. Later today, I'll actually be meeting with the sheriff. He'll open up the case file for us to show the evidence he has of the attack. And I plan to have Sheriff Ford on Facebook Live at Nick Barris NC5, a chance for you to ask him some questions as well. Follow me on Facebook for that later. We'll continue to follow this story because the question people want to know is, do they still need to be concerned about the possibility of a predator at large, or is the state right that a wild animal didn't do this? Still something of a mystery. Back to you in the studio.
News this morning.
All right. Now, I made some phone calls over the weekend. Made some phone calls. I actually tried to reach the sheriff. Tried to reach. Well, let's just say I couldn't technically reach him directly. And nobody will go on record to say what I'm about to say. So you can take this with a grain of salt. You can say you're full of shit. You're lying. Whatever you want. Well, the sheriff believed it was a large predator. But it wasn't the cat. It wasn't UFO. It wasn't UFO. The sheriff, with the party that I talked to that don't want to come on air because they don't want to be made fun of, believes it was a Bigfoot. When the sheriff wanted to come out and say it was a Bigfoot, he wasn't allowed to. So, apparently, they won't let him say the Bigfoot, so they put in the 2 cats. Take it with a grain of salt. You can say I'm full of shit. That's fine. But I make phone calls. I was trying to get that sheriff to come on air. And let's just say that the true belief of it being large cats, it's not true. The news stations and all that didn't want to put a Bigfoot out there. That there's a Bigfoot out in Kentucky's doing this. That was the sheriff thought. I was shocked. I thought they were going to say UFO. But that's why in the article they said large predator. Now listen. Can the cats be considered a large predator? That's up to you. That's up to you. That's totally 100% up to you. Now, there's articles all over the world about weird deaths. Let me share this other article. 58 pregnant cows found dead. Reward offered for information in this case. 58 cows. North Dakota, $40,000 reward is being offered for information leading to the arrest of a person or persons potentially responsible for killing 58 pregnant cows. You see veterinarian livestock, blue-green cholesterol, surviving. Fox said the case is connected to 2 separate files in a ranch in April. Destroyed over 2,000 bells, value at nearly $200,000. Why am I bringing this up? Nobody's arrested. 58 cows pregnant. Apparently, I tried to make some phone calls, but it wasn't good phone calls. I didn't really get that much information on this at all. But 58 cows, not poison. Not poison. Now, I'm not saying this one is related to UFOs or Bigfoot. But can it be? I mean, listen, the weirdest thing about these cattle, you know, and you hear so much in life. You hear so much in life about how far we come with DNA evidence, how far we come. We're solving these cases right to left. I mean, these are thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars to these farmers. And if they're insured, these are hundreds and thousands of dollars that the government paid back out to these farmers because of insurance and all that. You would think a lot of these cases would be closed. But they're not closed. Why aren't they closed? Every time you watch TV, all this technology to find evidence, you would think from 58 deaths, not this story, from all these stories about animals dying, the evidence to somebody that leads up to somebody will be arrested. Now, there are a few, but not the matching number of deaths that are being found. Just saying. It's the most strangest thing. You goddamn right, Spooky Morales. You goddamn right. I am ready for Obi-Wan Kenobi and Stranger Things. I am so ready. I found this. Clarence at a good store or whatever. And you put your phone on it. See? Put my phone on it. So I am ready. Strange, right? Why aren't these things found? I don't know. 58 cows, a lot of money. Exactly. This is big time money. I don't think people realize one cow is a lot of money. I mean, we're talking at 50. I mean, even when they're insured, the government's paying. It's crazy. It's crazy. Did I take off the other story?
This morning about the mysterious deaths of 3 miniature horses.
Okay, that's the one. Okay, I'm going to take that one off. Well, guys, if I'm not convincing you yet that there's something strange going on, this next one is ranchers mystified by cattle deaths. Here's another story. Let's check it out.
And welcome back, everyone. There is a Missouri rancher that's getting tired of making some disturbing discoveries on her land.
Well, cattle found dead and the manner of their deaths are a real mystery. Zach Tecklenburg traveled to Henry County to see it for himself.
Yeah, 3 different cows on 3 different days found mutilated. Their owner is out of rational explanations, and that has her looking to the sky.
I'm normally a very private person, but I'm willing to do.
Look at this. Hold on. Going back to the other story. 58 equals 13. If you're into the phenomenon, if you're into some weird numbers, 58 equals 13. 58. Remember, 58 mothers, 58 kids. Weird. Let's continue.
This because it's just something I want some answers to.
Henry County rancher Lynn Mitchell is perplexed. She found one of her 1,500-pound cows dead in the pasture on July 19th. Its tongue sliced out, its heart exposed.
It wasn't detached, it was just hanging out there.
Something similar happened just 3 weeks earlier.
I looked at first to see her tongue was gone, then immediately noticed the udder had completely been removed.
Lynn says this cow's reproductive organs were gone too. Making the death more mysterious, this char mark, still visible today, surrounded the cow. Lynn couldn't believe it was happening again. She found the first cow more than a year earlier, December of 2011.
I'm going to continue this. Spooky Morales wrote, my aunt and uncle had cattle mutilations missing on their farm back in the 80s, Northeast Tennessee. Northeast Tennessee. Guys, this is all over the world. All over the world.
She had obviously been cut on the side of her jaw. Her tongue was gone, her ear was gone.
In all 3 deaths, Lynn says the cuts were clean, like they were done during a surgery, and there was no blood despite the animal's gaping wounds. And since the cows graze in such an isolated place, nobody saw or heard a thing. The sheriff's department and a veterinarian have investigated, but just like Lynn, they can't find an answer.
The more it happens, the more questions you get. And
Look at that. Veterinarian, can't find it. Sheriff, nobody's getting arrested. Nobody. Nobody. So who's doing this? Who's doing this? With all this great technology we're hearing about that we should be solving these cases, why aren't these being solved? There's more.
the more you try to research and learn, you find more and more things that make you ask more questions.
With all the reasonable causes debunked, Lynn says she's open to the possibility that extraterrestrial life could be responsible. Similar cases of animal mutilation have been reported in Missouri in the past few years. The FBI nearly investigated in the 1970s. With the unsolved mysteries looming, aliens have become a common answer. Lynn's not sure what's right. She just wants it to stop.
Something happened to these cows. And it's not something that you see every day. It's not in your normal. So something else is going on.
Lynn also says the vet and the deputies could never find bullet wounds or any other ways the cows could have been taken down. She's considering installing security cameras in case the person or the thing responsible ever comes back. Zach Tecklenburg, 41 Action News.
On the Spooky's part, never found an answer, but lights in the skies were regular. Hey guys, I'm not saying 100% these are all being done by UFOs or Bigfoot, because I'm not there. I'm not seeing it in person. But guys, it's got to be strange, right? I mean, this woman, this is her farm. And, you know, when she has more than one death, you don't think they're walking their farms a lot more? I mean, how are people doing this so easily? You know, now I've heard the word cult before. Well, you know, there's all these cults. Yes, they're cults out there. Don't get me wrong. But you're gonna tell me all these deaths of animals are all done by cults? And even so, what? And every cult member are experts on know how to cut the perfect tongue out, the perfect guts to make it look like, and leaving no DNA. I mean, what? Every cult member is a doctor? These are all so-called experts. You know, most of these people are in these cults are people who ran from home, who have a lot of mental issues. So let's not sit here and say, they're probably all these cults. Yeah, okay, these cults. If these were done, high percentage of cults, a lot of these people would be caught because they won't be as good as when you're hearing these stories that clean tongues, guts out, no blood. You know? And you think these people know more than these farmers? These farmers know their land. They know every inch. They know every sound. Just saying. So when people say cults, okay, so a few could be cults. But all the ones that can't find any DNA and all that, you think those are cults? But like I said, every cults they're all expert doctors, they're all expert cutters, and they're all, you know, I'm in a cult. So that automatically means I know how to do all this stuff. Shit. Give me a freaking break. Give me a break. Guys, we're not ending now. I got a couple more videos of these strange, mysterious things going on. This next one. On the trail of UFOs night visitors, clip recounts first brutal cattle deaths. Let's check this one out.
So Judy, can you describe when they first found Snippy, since we're standing here with her?
Yeah, all the hide, meat, everything. The only thing that was exposed was the bones. It was all bare from here to the tip of her nose. I had a young man in, and when he was a teenager, he was there when they took the hide off this area. And he said, taking the hide off, he said nothing was there. All of the internal organs were gone. And they cut into the skull up there to get the brain, and no brain, you know? So from what I understand, the area where she was radioactive.
What about Snippy herself? Was she also very radioactive?
Yeah, all around where she was. And then they said that there were about 100 yards or 100 feet from where they found her, there were holes in the ground. They think that that's where a spaceship had landed. But they said that the bones looked like they had been laying out in the elements for 20 years. They were just that white.
Do you know what the time frame was from when they last saw Snippy alive and breathing to when they found her laying?
Yeah, it was 2 days. Well, she didn't come in for her feed or her water, and that's when they decided they better go look. The other horses came in, but she didn't.
At that time, how much property did they have?
Gosh, the King Ranch, they were big.
What else was going on around the area in 1960? Anything weird in the area?
They saw strange lights. That's what the family reported. They saw strange lights. And the lady who owned her name was Nellie Lewis. And she swears to God that she saw spaceships over there. And after this happened, then she passed away. I think she committed suicide, but anyway, it was sad, you know? It was just sad. The things that are taken are the pituitary.
Okay. Now, are we here to say that she's lying? The story she's saying is lying? You know? Strange lights. Some swear UFO ships. All these stories. Clean cuts. Everything. And, you know, and look. Hold on a second. Let me share this screen. Let me share this other screen here. Let me show you. Let me see here. This is March 16, 2022. This is this year. No logical explanation in cattle mutilation. No. Bear Valley. A multate bull mysterious turned up dead at a ranch in a Bear Valley months with body parts removed. According to February 20 incident report by the Oregon State Police, a rancher called a wildlife trooper to report a bull that had been killed and mutilated at his ranch with his testicles, scrotum, tongue, and lips removed. Inquiries concerns the Patterson observed in a similar cattle. In this case, similar. They're all similar. All these. Mitch Carter, a rancher from the Crown, Carter said he reported mutilation to Oregon State Police after discovering the dead bull roughly a quarter mile and a half from a mile of his house. When Carter found the bull, it was dead. The 24-hour window during which necropsy could have been performed had passed. 24 hours. What? After 24 hours? I mean, I'm no expert, but they can't even examine after 24 hours. What? There's just no way they can find any other kind of evidence of this? Nothing? It all has to be done within 24 hours? Wow. I thought we were better than that. I thought, with technology and DNA, and that thing being laying down for a week, we still be able to find something, to find some kind of evidence against certain things out there. But I guess not. I guess we're not that good. 7 years ago, Carter said he was almost sure one of his cows had a similar occurred in August 2020, which he is trying to inspect cattle's death closely when they occur. There's records up all the way to the 70s, and it's just, wow. Strange, right? I mean, listen, I'm not an investigator. I'm not in the police department, fire department. I'm not into, I don't do these kind of investigations. But I would think the 24-hour window would have been true in years past. But when technology gets better and stuff, I would still think they would be able to. But I just wonder if they're told to stop and use the 24-hour thing, if there's something more to it. I'm not saying. You know what I mean? I don't know. Kind of mysterious. Another mysterious one. My opinion. Strange, people. Strange. Now I got another one. Book lays out new theory on cow deaths. So here's a guy who wrote a book and says he has the theory on what has happened to these cows. A theory. All right. Nothing wrong with theories. Let's check it out. Let's hear it. Let's hear his theory.
Not quite up there with the 1947 Roswell incident, but the cow mutilations of the 70s remain one of New Mexico's biggest mysteries. Now there's a new book about it, and the author says he knows exactly what happened to all those cows. News 13's Amanda Goodman has the story. Amanda?
Jess, the book was written by the son of the lead New Mexico State Police investigator. A warning, some of the images are graphic.
A lot of the cattle were found with broken bones. They were found with harness marks because they were being lifted in some type of harness or clamp marks on their hooves or legs.
That was life for ranchers in northern New Mexico in the mid to late 1970s. Cows were turning up dead, their carcasses mutilated, and no one knew why.
People need to know what really happened, and hopefully this book will set the record straight.
Greg Valdez is the author of Dulce Base.
I'm ready to hear. Let's get the record straight. Let's hear what this guy thinks it is, because he wants to get the record straight. So it must be true, 100% true what he thinks it is. Must be, right? Let's hear it.
A new book about the cow mutilations. His dad, Gabe Valdez, was the lead investigator on the case for state police back in the 70s. The book is made up of his old case files.
The evidence in the book will show that humans were involved in the mutilations.
Officer Valdez's theory that government agencies were snatching the cattle for super secret Cold War experiments at an underground base in Dulce.
Ranchers would routinely see them at night, before they went to bed. And then the next morning they would find them dead in the field or the pasture.
Officer Valdez believed these government agencies returned the cattle to perpetuate the theory that aliens were responsible, to shield themselves from suspicion.
The more people look in the wrong direction and towards aliens and stuff that's not supported by evidence, no one will ever be held accountable, and it will just be a mystery.
It's a move Valdez's son says has worked for the last 4 decades, and something he hopes the book will put an end to.
Someone should be held accountable.
Some of the other theories about what happened to the cattle included alien abductions, that the cows simply died of natural causes, and predators were responsible for the mutilation. Valdez says all evidence suggests humans were the ones responsible. Jess?
Okay, Amanda, Gabe Valdez died 2 years ago. His son says he doesn't think the government will ever own up to what really.
What do you guys think of that? So none of us are UFOs. None of us Bigfoot. It was all governments. Every government. Australia, here, around the world. It's all the government. They're doing it all. They're taking the cows, doing something, learning how to slice, cutting them up, put them back, because they know that people are going to blame it on UFOs. You know? Listen. Everybody has a right to their own opinion. Every one of you has a right to your own opinion. And don't get me wrong, I believe that governments have taken animals, did experiments. But are you going to tell me that every single one of them, they're all going to put them back? Because these government agencies, they're all that intelligent, all smart, knowing that people are stupid. People are going to believe whatever. So if we put these back, they're automatically going to believe it's all UFOs. So what did they do? Did the government put magic lights up in the air too? I mean, are they that good? Hey, we're going to steal these 5 cows, but when we experiment them in the back and get these right back before the date. So think about it. So these cows die overnight. So somehow the government is going to sneak out there with these awesome vehicles that nobody can hear them driving. Magic vehicles. Nobody hears these magical vehicles drive up. Take these cows somewhere real quick. You know, they probably got like 2-3 hours, because we all know farmers, you know, they wake up. They start working on their land about what? 4 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 3 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, I don't know. So the government's going to drive these magical vehicles quietly, grab these animals real quick, take them back, do whatever they got to do in 2-3 hours, drive back, magical, no sound, no nothing, and be able to drop them off and get the hell out of there. That quick. Where's all the... if that's true, where's all the tire marks? Where's all the footprints? Where is all that? Are they just magically disappear? And that's at the same... And listen, and think about this. Okay, so, and they're going to plan with some of these cases, we're going to throw some magical lights up there. Well, I don't know about you. If I was on a... Well, I'm not going to guarantee, but I have family who have farms. Well, if I see magical lights, especially if you're a teenager, I'm going to be outside looking at these lights. Okay? And you know, if I'm out there on a farm, I'm going to make sure my animals are all right. You're correct, right? So, you know. So, listen. We can all believe. Any one of you has the right to believe what you want to believe. I would never, ever, ever force any beliefs into you. I can see the government doing a few things, but on a massive scale like this, no. No. Sometimes I think they're great conspiracy theories, great conspiracy stories, but sometimes we give our government too much credit. Too much credit. Like they know how to do it all so perfectly, and we're all of us are stupid. We're gonna bite the bullet and blame it on fake UFOs. Bullshit. My beliefs, my opinion. These are just my opinions. That's it. I believe a high percentage of these are being done by UFOs. Yes, and small percentage are being done by Bigfoot. You know, there's people in the UFO community and there's people in the Bigfoot community will never, ever, ever combine the two together. Ever. Some of them won't. They're so fucking stubborn in their own fucking self-centered, you know. We can believe in UFOs, but we can't believe in Bigfoot. We can believe in Bigfoot, we can't believe in UFOs. And we all definitely can't believe in the paranormal. No, we can't be open-minded to it all. I'm telling you, if you're that way, then you know what? You don't belong on this channel. You don't belong watching here, because I want people who are open-minded to the possibilities. Am I going to say they're automatically related? Hell no. But some of it can be. Do we all truly know 100% the truth? Do we? No, we don't. So keep an open mind. Keep it open. I personally believe there is a connection. Not with, of course, not with every Bigfoot sightings and all that area, but I believe there is connections. I believe there is things going on that we don't understand, and we should want to investigate this. I mean, there's stories all over the world. I mean, let's hear. Oh, that's the wrong button. I mean, there's. If you guys want to read about some of these FBI files, I'll put this in the chat, and you guys could take a look for yourself. I mean, there's supposedly these are supposed to be some files. Animal in the mid-1970s, reports of scattered animals in western and midwestern states concerned many people. And when people say, well, why is it only happening mostly over there? Well, West Coast, Midwest, this is where we have probably the most cattle farms versus every other part in the world. I don't want to know feedback. Mystery. I mean, there's this stories. I mean, of course, guys, I'm not gonna read these stories. But I mean, there's files and files. Start reading some of these files back in the 70s, and I mean, there's new findings. I mean, there's stories that goes back. There's new stories, old stories. And the reason I'm showing you all this is this has been going on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And if you think they're all being done by humans in the cult, go for it. You have every right to believe what you want to believe. I told you what I believe and all that. So, guys, first of all, like I said, today's show is a little different, and I felt like this kind of a topic deserved to have its own show for this kind of topic. And I believe it is a true mystery. It is a mystery. And I love listening to different people's stories because farmers, in my opinion, are the heart and soul of this country. A lot of countries, they feed the world. They feed people. And, these people... That there's some people who want publicity, and all that. Don't get me wrong. There are people, but a lot of these farmers, they're just good people, and they don't want things to happen to their animals because they're big money. It could destroy their farms. It could destroy their livelihood. And so these are kind of people that I would listen. I'd rather listen to farmers than a government agency, a government senator, a governor, who all they care is about money and power. I'd rather listen to these farmers. And think about it. When you have farmland, growing up in Fresno, California, we're surrounded by grapevines, cattle farms, and all that. And there's a lot of times out in these farmlands, there's no airports anywhere near. I mean, these guys are empty because they're out in the middle of nowhere. So when these farmers come out and say they see lights, you better stop and take a look and listen. It's not like if I came out and I said, hey, I've seen all these lights. I live next to a goddamn airport. Okay, so my lights might not be what they could be because there's a lot of interference out there. But these farmers, a lot of these farmers, they're not near airports. So when they see deaths, they see helicopters, they see lights, I'm going to stop. I'm going to listen. Because there should be less interference where they're at versus where I might be at. I'm not saying they're all telling the truth, but I'm just saying that these are the people that I will listen to. Living in Maryland, I live by a lot of farmers out there. And let me tell you, having one animal, I mean, you're talking about taking food off the table. So, this is a Identify S4 channel. Great freaking channel. If you love UFOs, Anthony is my opinion, one of the best UFO channels out there. One of the best. If I make a top 5, he's 1 or 2. Actually, right now, he's probably number 1. I don't know who I would put as number 2, actually. You know, a lot of UFO channels won't even come on my show. I don't know why. I don't know. Anthony, he ain't that guy. He's so open-minded. He's like, I'll come on your show. He went on my show. I went on his show. I love when people are like that. Now, beyond that, guys, like I said, I'm going to bring a new segment to the show. I'm going to bring in a horror talk to the show where I'll talk about one horror movie and all that. But today's a little different. I'm going to end the show with 10 recommendations of Bigfoot movies you should watch. It's a video, so I'm not going to sit here and tell you that all 10 of these are great, but I think they're a cool video. I'm going to play a horror talk intro that I used to do on my other channel. And then I'm going to play you the last video of the show today and it's 10 Bigfoot recommendations. So here's the intro. So like I said, and if you guys like this kind of format about a certain subject, please email me, leave in the comments that, hey, Eric, you should tackle a whole news show on this topic or on this incident or a lot of several incidents like this. They're fun. Let me know, and I'll try to put something together. So with your help, we can make this channel even better because it takes all of us to make things better. I love growing this with you guys. You guys are all awesome, fantastic. So we're going to end the show today with a 2-minute video clip of 10 Bigfoot. It's called 10 Bigfoot movies you must see in a video. I didn't put these 10 there. So don't, if you hated one, they'll go, Eric, you lied to me. That one was horrible. But we'll end the show with this 2-minute video clip of 10 Bigfoot videos you must see.